How's it going, guys? Got a couple little projects going here. It's two Sony receivers. What is the model number? STR DH130s. These are fairly new. Take it that they're store returns or shipping damage, maybe, or something of that nature. One appears to be a little bit better than the other. Like maybe this knob might be a little bit rubbed from shipping too much. You know, somebody might have bought it, had it shipped to their house, hooked it up, didn't work, had to put it back in the box. You know, this stuff can zigzag across the country back and forth a million times before it gets to whoever decides to deal with it. But the condition is right now is that they don't power up. You plug both of them in, you get like a click, or one of them does a couple clicks, and nothing shows up on the display. Here, I'll turn around to the other side. Alright, you can see here on the back, this one here is missing the little tabs for the speaker terminals. This is the one with the crusty knob too. But alright, well, we'll pop the hoods on these and see if we can see what's going on. Alright, so this is the one with the broken speaker terminals and the crusty knob. And open up inside. Let's see if I get the light. You see the fuse is blowed, so that means something shorted out in it. And you know, I just made this workbench, but two big lights in there to try to have enough lights to be able to make videos, and it's still shadowy and no light. Pretty much one of those speaker terminals, you know, the little clips, and it's missing the little back plates, you know, the little buttons. I found one of those was shorted out against it. But pretty much this side, I don't know if it's the right or left, probably the right. This stuff usually is pretty much, you know, right speaker terminal, right size, usually the way it goes, but sometimes it's opposite. These transistors are shorted. This emitter resistor is good, so I think we're going to get good there. The only thing that's going to be damaged probably is these transistors. I'll check some of these resistors down in here, the little small guys. I'll check some of those too, but I don't have a schematic. You go through the owner's manual. You know, back in the 80s and before, you got a schematic in your owner's manual, but they don't do it anymore. And another thing that's interesting is neither one of these came with a remote. One came with this antenna, and both came with the batteries for the remote. And matter of fact, one of them, the batteries are still wrapped up. And there was no mention on the sale of this thing that either one did or did not come with a remote, so I'm kind of irritated. I did go back to the seller and looked at his page and typed in to see if he was selling the remotes for these, and he didn't have any listing for them. So I can tell you right now, if he was selling those remotes separately, I would have been chewing his butt, because, you know, you just sell it with it, you know. Especially, you know, you put all the other crap in there. But oftentimes people return this stuff to the store, and, you know, they won't put all the stuff that came with it. And I'm guilty of it too. I've taken stuff back, and like, I'm keeping those cables, you know, like an HDMI cable or something, you know, that costs you 20 bucks to go buy all by itself. But either way, I think replacing these speaker terminals and replacing those transistors probably get this one up and running. And of course the fuse. But we'll take a look in the other one. Alright, inside the other one, the fuse, right down there, isn't blown. It just doesn't turn on, which is kind of just weird. I took the connections off the primary and secondary of the transformer, and there's polarity between all the terminals, so this transformer here isn't dead. There is a possibility that the what do you want to call it, the standby transformer, there might be something wrong with it. I'm not seeing anything physically burnt. Could be from the factory solder connection. Nothing shorted out. Nothing shorted out in it as far as I could tell. It just doesn't turn on. I'd like to also mention that all the caps in this thing is name brand. Let's see, we got Nippon Chemicon caps here with Sony on them. And then there's some Nichicons. This brand here, it starts with an L. Yeah. But they're all name brand caps, which you know, you pay. You can get $100 receivers. This is a 100 watt per channel. I think it says on the box it's 130 watt per channel, but just judging by those size of those transistors, I don't think there ain't no way. I mean, size matters. You can kind of judge by the size of those things, what area the wattage can be. You know, from like 1980 something and on, you can kind of judge them. Those look like 75 to 100 watt transistors. If they was over 100 watts, they would be a little bit bigger. Here, I'll show you one. Alright, so here's the physical size of what's in this machine. These are usually from, you know, somewhere 75 watt to 100 watt. And then here's your over 100 watt kind of a, you know, transistor. Quite a bit bigger. And usually if they're 50 watt or less, they'll have like a pt1, which I can get one of those out too. Alright, so there's a pt220. So, yeah, you know, your 20 to 50 watt, 75 to 100-ish, and then these came out of a 120 watt per channel machine. But, and then anything smaller than this, usually just some BJTs maybe or something. So I think my first thing is I'm going to take the board out of this one. This is the one that just doesn't start up. It doesn't have the blow fuse. See if I can see anything wrong with maybe this transformer or something like that, or why it's not starting on. And if I can't find it right away, what I'm going to do is steal the transistors out of here and steal the speaker terminal block that's good and put it in the other machine, because I'm pretty certain that if once I replace the transistors in that machine will start up and run. And then I'll just steal the knobs and anything that's, you know, better shape. Anything that's better shape will go on the machine, you know, that I get going first. And you know, heck, if I fix this one here, I'll just leave everything as it is, you know, put it back together. But looking at giving one of these to my daughter for her birthday. So, and they both of them came in the original box, so it'll be a nice gift, and you know, she won't know any different that it's, you know, I kind of think that this one here never did run. I think somebody bought it and it just never turned on. I'm thinking whatever I'm going to find is like a solder joint, or maybe this transformer here just has a open winding or something. But well, we'll see what we get. Alright, got the main board out of the one that you know, has the terminals and the fuse wasn't blown. And just when you think there's nothing in the thing, you flip it over and then there's all kinds of huge ICs in it. So what I ended up finding out with why this thing isn't working is it's got a broken circuit board. And it's just not broke like a clean break. It's like it breaks and then goes, you know, sideways through the board. It goes sideways through the board and then comes clean off the other side. There is fixing this. It's probably not going to happen. I'm probably just going to part it out. And you see here, I already started removing all the components from it. That I need to fix the other one. So here's the one all put back together. This one here had the burned out transistors on the right side, and but I ended up changing out. I put those in, put the speaker relays in, or speaker terminals in, put the transformer back in it, changed the fuse, and I fired it up, but I didn't hook any speakers to it at first. Took my voltmeter, put it on DC, and it's checking the voltage of, here, just sitting here idling, and I had a 45 milliamp voltage and then 0 on the side that I fixed. So I was looking at, probably there's something wrong with these two over here. Now mind you, this is the one that had the busted speaker thing, so I'm thinking they got shorted out. All you had to do is just touch them and it would have shorted them. So I pulled the transistors out of the other one and also replaced these. And I did kind of notice whenever I was taking them loose that, like, this plate was separating from this. So if I would have hooked speakers to it and probably turned it up, it would have maybe worked for a second and then went up in smoke, because it was separating from itself. So it's bad. It just wasn't reading bad on the meter, like shorted or anything. But as soon as you would have put a load on, they probably would have went. So replaced those, and I got good millivolts on this side. So this one here is all up and going. I also put it in the nicer looking, not scratched up as much case. And I'll plug it in. Alright, got it all sitting here all plugged in. I got my test speakers hooked up. And I got just a piece of coax hooked up for an antenna. It's not working very well. There's a shot with everything all assembled. Got all the tie downs and things like that on. Well, I gotta get that tie down hooked to that. That one's on. But anyways, got it hooked to an MP3 player. And then tuner. This thing is pretty functional without a remote. I mean, you can even go as far as program a radio station. You can adjust the bass and the treble. You can't adjust the balance, which I find that feature awesome, because on older stuff that had a balance knob, sometimes I'm watching YouTube videos at my desk and I use a stereo receiver. Sometimes guys' cameras, the audio might be higher on one side than the other, and you got headphones on. It just drives you nuts. So you could adjust the balance and or a mono button. You only really find that on older stuff too. You hit a mono button and it just levels it out. When you change to another guy's video, you can undo the thing. But it's only picking up one radio station. But I'm getting some testing stuff that I can start doing audio outputs. I got a little pocket oscilloscope coming, which would be good for, it's pretty much good for like audio things that I would do. I don't have much room here, and it's just a hobby, so I just spent a little bit of money and got an oscilloscope kit. It's actually a kit, I gotta put it together. And so eventually we'll be able to, I need to get a true RMS meter. None of the meters here I have is true RMS. I need to get one of those as well. But we'll be able to measure the total output before clipping, hopefully, of stuff that we'll fix up. But alright, so I think we're done with this video. I don't know, I'll probably start videoing trying to fix the other one with a broken circuit board. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So there might be a part 2 to this. But